interview the late, great Bobby Womack right here on Nexxlegacy Radio. I'm happy because of the gentleman that I have here tonight. He's been one of my music heroes, and I have admired his music and the passion that he has delivered his music for so long, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to introduce him to this not just online fan base of people listening overseas and listening in the States and listening in your homes and on your computers, but also just the people out there that can appreciate good music and appreciate the passion. One thing about Bobby Womack, people, is the one thing I get is not just his God-given voice and the talent that he puts out. It's just you hear that passion. You hear that extra something that other people or some people don't have or don't have enough of. And for Bobby to be able to withstand the test of time and different generations and things like that, I mean, it's a testament to his talent and the people like us that appreciate it. And he is not just brought to you by xlrecordings.com, but also his new album, Bravest Man in the Universe, is available on iTunes. You get bonus tracks if you get it from iTunes, which is available right now. And I want to welcome an icon, Mr. Bobby Womack, to the show. Hello, sir.
Boy, I'm telling you, built my eagle up so high, I don't know what to do. You know, I think it's so important when you can relate. That's what music is about. If the lyrics are weak, long as the music puts you in that mood you need to be in. You know,
and Bobby, isn't that the main thing, the reason why you do what you do is because you give that to us. And even though, like I said, it's God-given, you can keep it to yourself if you want to, but, I mean, the best thing about what you do is we're able to see it and appreciate it and hear it and understand where you're coming from, right?
Yeah, but I feel fortunate to be in a position to be able to do and speak for people around the world. Is because we all fall in love, we fall out of love, we all have some money, then the next day we broke. You know, just the normal things that happen. It's not hard to figure it out, you know. Sometimes I go back and listen at the songs that I've written along the way, and it's like a dictionary. I knew exactly where I was at that time, you know, and what I was going through. And it's good to know when you walk on stage, I say you can always tell the reaction from the people. I'm not alone.
That's right.
And they're not alone. I say I'm talking to them spiritually, and in reverse, they're talking to me, you know.
That's right. And isn't it something, though, Bobby, when you think about it and you look back, and I'm pretty sure you have a ton of memories throughout your career with so many memories of shows and different things that you have attached to it, and you think about it, man, there's like so many of your fans that lives out of state, and you have so many fans that's in state, of course, and then when you think about it, it's kind of like a surreal feeling on your end, right? Because they're still diehard Bobby Womack fans, and it will not stop.
Right, and not only that, you learn to not take anything for granted. When I look around and say when I started, I say a lot of artists are not around today, but their music still speaks the truth. Exactly. And I think that's what it's all about. All soul singers come from the church, you know. And one thing that I learned from being there is that I feel what I do, and people that I do it for, I do it with, feel the same thing.
That's right. Amen to that. And as Mr. Bobby Womack is our guest on Branded After Dark, and of course I'm gonna ask you the question as far as why are you the bravest man in the universe? Your album that's out right now. And I told you off air that, whoo! If people haven't gotten it, you need to go get it. It is tremendous. It's on iTunes, and I'm not saying this because I am on the line right now with music royalty. I'm just saying as a fan, It doesn't matter what generation you're from. It's definitely something to go pick up, and it's an amazing
album. I always
album.
say the truth never go out of style.
You got that right.
It's always gonna be that way.
But Bobby, before I actually talk about this album, and of course you're a Grammy Award-winning 2009 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, and all the accolades that have come with your status in your career. Of course, it's always nice to mention it, and I can keep mentioning it all night, and it feels like it's my album or my shows that I've been a part of. All this, I'm just so proud of you, man. So my question is, when you look back and you think just the journey that started, and for all the people out there that's getting started in this business, what's the one thing that made you continue to still do what you're doing and give this gift that you have to the fan base?
Truthfully, I love what I do. It keeps me alive. And that's a true fact. You have to really get involved with what you feel for when you do, is because along the way you're going to run it. This is a rough business. It's nothing to play with. It'll break your heart real quick or see where you're at, And I always reach out to the people, and the people reach out to me, and it lets me know what I've been doing for the last 40 years.
Right.
And that remains, Sometimes I can remember walking on stage and feeling real ill, tired, just don't be in the mood. But as soon as they call my name and I see the reaction of the people, it takes me to a whole nother space.
It just gives you a little extra something, right? It takes me to a whole nother
space, and I say, boy, I thought I had the flu. I said, I ain't got the flu. These people have been waiting on me, and I've been waiting on them. I need them, and they need me.
In a lot of ways, it's a lifeline, right? It's a lifeline, right?
And along the way, I've lost so many friends of mine, the Johnny Taylors, the Marvin Gayes, and I can go on Barry White. I can just keep going, Janis Joplin.
Right.
And I say, boy, golly, I better say something. I can't be just taking up space.
That's right.
And so you have a lot to talk about spiritually when you walk on stage. And music is that way. Anybody can have it. All they got to do is be themselves and be honest with themselves. That's soul. It's coming from the soul. If it's coming anywhere else, I don't want it.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Do you feel, Bobby, that as not just fans of your music and admirers of all that you do you feel like sometimes that we do take artists for granted, not just yourself but others?
Yeah, we do. It's because if one artist disappears, there's another artist takes the replace, and you get used to it. But one thing you got to always understand, I'm not making these stories up.
Right.
This is something that I really went through. If it's saying a woman's got to have it, is that I knew that a woman's got to have it, and I gave my mother a lot of credit. And I say, everybody's got a mother.
That's right.
And she stood when we couldn't stand. So it's every song to me. It's just not something just came out of the blue. It just kept happening so much. I said, I should talk about this.
Breakups to, happy parts of the relationships to, everything. I mean, just the emotions that, if you think you're lonely now, I know that's gotten a lot of love from a lot of the younger generations. And, you have a lot of number ones and a lot of top 10 hits on top of that as well. So, now when you're dealing with some of the younger crowd, the younger generations that's out here, what are they coming to you? Not just the younger artists, but even the younger fans. What are they saying to Bobby Womack in 2013?
I think they come in for honesty is because I just got through doing a record with Rick Ross, you know. That's another generation, but like I said, the truth don't lie. You're still dealing with the same things that I dealt with some years ago, and I'm still dealing with them. I never say, oh, and take it for granted.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And for you to still win with the younger crowd too, it goes to show you don't have to change up and be somebody that you're not. You're just going to be Bobby Womack.
It gives you a special feeling that you really respect. That I say, they're hearing me today, and I said a lot of these songs, these came out 30 and 40 years ago. You know, and plus it's important to feel that you still want it. It's because if it wasn't that way, I wouldn't have nowhere to go. I'd be like a lost ball in tall weeds. You know what I mean? Trying to find my way.
Doubt.
I'm serious. I say, so when you walk out on that stage, whether it be Rick Ross or Snoop Dogg or whatever, and I say, they speaking the truth, and I've been speaking the truth. I said, so there's still a place for me. It gives you hope and pride that you still want it, because it's very important to feel that I'm still needed.
Right. And it's always going to stay that way, Bobby. Just based on, like you said, I mean, you give it to us as genuine and honest, and with that passion, like I said, is not too many of you out there. So we have to appreciate and embrace it, and I'm just glad just to be able to have dialogue. As Bobby Womack is our guest on Branded After Dark, and okay, like I said, I've been putting people's ears like buzzing all night, and the bravest man in the universe, Mr. Womack. Like, okay, if you people out there, I'm gonna tell you now, it's available on iTunes, right? But when you get it, when you listen to this man do his work, sing his songs, handle his business, it's like you never lost a step, man. I mean, I know this is a lot of your original material that you put together. It's been years in the making, and you got co-produced by Damien album, and your whole XL, and the whole XL recordings imprint. So break this album down for the listeners out there as far as how this whole thing came to be.
The Bravest Man in the Universe was a song that Isaac Hayes had called me many years back.
All right.
And said, the Memphis Horns are recording. You got a song for them. And the Memphis Horns have been backing everybody, you know. And so that's where that song came from. And when I played the song to them, they said, man, that should be the title of the album. I said, you know how old that song is? But I said, the truth don't lie. It's still about you got to be brave at something.
That's right. That's right.
You staying in the game or going out. And so those songs, and what was amazing is that when I went with Damon Albarn, and he was talking about, we went on a tour first. He was talking about, man, I want you to go in the studio. And I had stayed away from and gotten out of the business in a sense. It's because, we all get lost along the way. It's just natural. And I had things that I had to clean up and be honest with myself so I could keep being honest to the people. And, not ashamed to talk about it. It was drugs, which has killed a lot of artists. And I knew there was a better way, and I said, when I first started, I never heard of this. I said, I never heard of being famous. I just love to sing. So I had to go back to that, and it was something that attracted me to saying I want to do it again. I feel like I want to do it again. It's because the people were still waiting. They were still waiting to hear what I had to say. And you got to be saying something because they be listening.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I respect that. I say, I can't tell them one thing and do another.
Right.
You know, when you're honest with yourself, it's hard. So I had to get hungry for the business again. And it ended up recording one of the best albums that I had recorded or worked with anybody, because I was just going in the studio, and I never worked or released a record that it would take me within the studio maybe about 3 to 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the album would take me 5 years.
That's right.
Just going back and forth. But I love working with Damon because the freedom that I had with it, I didn't have to do what the record company wanted, or they tell me what's happening in the business. I said, what's happening in the business? I'm telling you what's happening in my life.
Right.
And that's more important, because I say, I'm not alone, you know. And we just went in. I remember when I was a kid, I say, singing gospel. There's a song called Deep River. And I say, me and my brothers used to sing that song. I said, many years ago, they asked, why don't you do it?
That's right.
I said, you think that'll, you really want me? And they say, yeah. So to have that choice brought the best out of me. You know,
and I can tell from this album, and I can tell from this album, Bobby, that you know it has that genuine feel to it, like you said, and you made a perfect point about just your record company not telling you what should be put out there. You're giving it to them like, this is how I feel, and this is probably something that could be relatable to somebody else, man, woman, or child that's going through something.
That has destroyed many artists, many entertainers from becoming artists, because they're trying to do what the company wants them to do.
Exactly.
And the company is not out there in the street.
Right.
You know, you live and see it every day.
Yep.
And so I just said, hey, man, if I can't be me, I don't know who else I can be.
Yeah, and you know what, man, we don't want you, exactly, and we don't want
too long. I'm out of practice.
And we don't want you to be nobody else but the music icon that you are, and Bobby Womack is our guest on Branded After Dark. And Bobby, if you don't mind, I want to play Love Is Gonna Lift You Up off your album, and come back and ask you a couple more questions alongside one of my staff guys here, Mr. Kevin. And we're going to play this track and come right back with more. Right. Track right here by my man, Mr. Bobby Womack. He is our guest on Branded After Dark, and like I said, man, I'm over here like a kid in a candy store. It's an early birthday present that I get a chance to have some dialogue with a music icon. So I am grateful and glad that you're here hanging out with us and sharing your new music, which is available. What is it? The Bravest Man in the Universe. Don't get it twisted, y'all. This is a big thing right here.
You talk about love. It's a very powerful word. And if you need lifting, try love. It will lift you up.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I'm going to go ahead and put my man, Mr. Sir Kevin, in, one of my staff members here. And, you know, he's definitely one of the good guys in the business, because he's trying to bring up 4 young kids in this entertainment field, too. And, Sir Kev, you were mic'd up and on, hanging out with me and this music icon who goes by the name of Mr. Bobby Womack right here. Kev, what's up?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How you doing?
Honor to speak to an icon. Wow.
How old are your kids?
12, 11, 10, and 6.
Do they really like it? It's because that's so important. You know, not to set a goal for yourself, to set one for them. Something that they love and understand what they do.
They love it, they understand it, and this is what they've been wanting to do since they've been, 4 years old.
Yeah, because music will never stop. It keeps going on. It takes young people like that coming with new things to say. It's because the generations keep changing. And you got to change with it to be able to communicate.
Exactly.
You know?
That song
and how
rocks,
do you feel? Oh, yeah. I mean, and I know you, like everybody else, definitely needs to go on iTunes and pick it up. Bravest Man in the Universe by Bobby Womack is available now. We're going to push this all night. We're going to push it all night tonight. It's available.
Love going to lift me up. What you saying?
That's right.
That's hot.
That's funny. Someone once said to me, "You going electronic." I said, "Well, what do you say about my voice? It's not electronic.
Hey,
it's real."
That's
and
right.
I say it's up front, and that's leading the way.
That's right.
That's right.
It's
not what you say, but how you say it.
And
how you feel it.
That's right. Kev, you got a question or two for Mr. Womack?
Yes, sir. My question to you is, sir, is that how is it that you keep it going like this? That song,
man,
again, sir, I gotta humbly tell you, that song rocked, and I'm going on iTunes to get the whole album.
Okay. It's just life, the way life works. And I say, I don't care who you are. I say, everybody's got a calling. And everybody's got something they do well. If it's no more than listen, you pay attention, And I just feel blessed that I was a chosen one. The same with your kids, So you feel blessed that you're chosen one that can deliver the message, that want to.
That's right. And I think it's important for young kids, not just Kevin's kids, but even young adults that's coming into this business at this day and age. And you said it early, Bobby. It's cutthroat. It's rough. And it's probably even a difficult grind now than when it was back when record labels were still record labels, and they weren't just owned through online and things like that. It's different. I mean, let's put it out there. It has changed, right?
The new generation have to understand is that people are listening to them, and you got to say something that makes sense.
Right.
Don't disrespect the woman, because I wouldn't be here, or they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that never go out of style. I say, feel what you're saying, and don't say it because everybody else is doing it.
Right.
Or that's what you feel is happening now. What's happening now is real.
And
as
Bobby,
young girls and young boys come up trying to find their way, they might be listening to you or me.
Right. And Bobby, you said that a couple of times now. So I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, and we're gonna let you ride into the sunset. But and you made the point about just making sure that we cater to our women, and a lot of your songs do that on occasion, of course, and it was, of course, it's one of those kind of reflections as far as us as men that I feel like we should have anyways. But of course, like we've talked about before, in this day and age, it's a lot of fast food, one night stand kind of music, and not the slow love making. You can go ahead and play the entire album from top to bottom, and it'll still be what it's supposed to be. How do you feel about just the fact that we're supposed to cater to our women versus some of the songs and our actions as men is not worthy of keeping a good woman or being a good son to a mother?
The way we can change it by changing our attitude and approach with that is because I said 30 years ago, a woman's got to have it.
Right.
And today she still got to have it.
Right.
And you got to be willing to give it up.
But you didn't have any designs. You didn't have any designs on that originally when you first came out with okay, well, I'm gonna sing this song, and subconsciously it just came out there because that's how you felt. It wasn't something that was premeditated, right?
Yeah, it was very well, because I watched how my mom went through hell and high water for us to survive. And I said, man, today, if anybody says anything negative, I'm pissed off. Because I say, I know they can do better than that. And I say, all of the yesterday artists, or what we call old school, I say they put us in a position to be what we are today.
Right.
And you got to keep on keeping on, rightfully, with the message.
And with the humble nature, right? Got to be humble.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Got to be.
You have to push ego aside.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to do that not just in the business, but also in any relationships that you are building, right?
Oh, yeah, because if you don't, I'm telling you, love will make you think again. Wow, that's what I end up saying. If you think you're lonely now, wait until the night. If it's in the daytime and you're lonely, you're gonna catch hell at night. And one great thing about it is to walk on stage and say these songs are old, but the truth don't get old. It just grows and grows and grows. And I say, as generations come in, they go through what I went through.
That's right.
Sooner or later.
That's right. That's right. And I know you have, and as durable as you are, and like I said, you've spanned a couple of decades or whatnot. So you're doing shows still. Tell us about some of your upcoming shows that you have going on, man.
Well, I tell you can tell when you're getting old because you usually run on stage fast. It takes me a little while to get up there. But when I get up there, something happens, and I say it's the spirit. They say, you a whole different person when you're on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I say, when I started, I was 4 or 5 years old performing, opening up for the Sam Cooks and guys like that. I say, today, wow. I'm pushing 69.
Young 69.
No, I am 69.
A young 69.
I still have a need and a calling to speak. What I think needs to be changed. And the younger audience need someone to listen to. They need a guidance.
Right.
And I don't claim I'm the only one, but you look at people like Stevie Wonder and what they put down.
Right.
With their lyrics and everything like that. I say just follow that and be yourself.
Amen to that. So where your shows going? Who are you actually on?
Well, we've been doing a lot of festivals out of the country, and this album was very big out of the country, and we played a lot of dates, and I just finished album with Van Morrison, and just different things that happen. I don't know where it's going. When I wake up, I just thank God that I see a new day when I never saw before.
Wow. Amen to that.
So I don't know. I just says, man, it's like I'm finally getting the chance to play Los Angeles. And I said, it's strange because you book so many different places. You don't know. It's not up to a promoter. He's going to say, when is the best time to bring Bobby in? Is it going to bring me in when he knows he has less competition to deal with? And a lot of things. And, I went through a sickness a year ago that I was physically in bad shape. And I came out of that, and I told the doctor, let me walk on stage and get away from all these people in these white coats.
I heard that.
And I said, I will be a lot better off. I said, let me wear the white coat for a
change. I heard
that. So, the people, believe it or not, and that's very true, they keep you honest. They keep you feeling like you're 21, and I don't want to stop. When I stop, the clock stopped ticking.
That's right.
Well, I got to say, as long as it's ticking, I'm going to have something to say.
Well, amen to that. Amen to that. And as you should. I mean, look at the gifts that you've given us over the years, man. I mean, it's only right that we still continue to let you have that voice. We getting
that gift. In return, the people have given it to me.
Right.
Because it's one thing to say hello and nobody say hello.
Yeah.
Nobody say nothing.
Yeah, if they don't talk back
to
you, right?
Yeah, speak back to me.
That's right. And before I let you go, man, I gotta tell you, as Bobby Womack's our guest on Branded After Dark, you can actually go to xlrecordings.com. You can also pick up Bravest Man in the Universe, available on iTunes, etc., etc. Just go get it. I mean, to me, I think for not just for myself, because I'm in my mid-30s. My mom loves you to death. My aunt loves you to death. There's our staff loves you to death, and they range from a lot of different age groups.
That's what I be speaking about when I talk about generations.
Absolutely.
The truth, it's so important because the truth never stops being truthful.
That's right. That's right.
You can feel it. I can feel it, and I can feel it from the presence of the audience. I said, this is going to be a good night.
There you go. Yeah, and even the radio audience right now, like between me and Kevin and the rest of the people listening, man, come on, man. I could stay talking to you for a long time, man. So, you get new albums, you come on tour, I'm going to find any excuse to get you back on the air, man. That's what I'm going to do.
All right. Okay, and bring Mom and Dad.
Absolutely.
So they're going to tell you, now I'm going to school you.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Hey, that sounds like a deal to me, man. And I gotta thank you, man. And before I let you go, with all the people out there listening overseas, a lot of people want to know if you're headed that way for any tours, or reaching you as far as people that want to book for tours. They can go to xlrecordings.com and they can go ahead and go through the proper channels,
and
right?
I spent so much time overseas that I told my wife, I said, I don't feel like making another 13-hour flight. I said, let them start next year. Plus, home is always home.
Absolutely.
It's more important to me to be here where I came up, and I look forward to it. I'm ready to work.
Hey, and we ready to watch you work, man. We're definitely ready to do that, man. Mr. Womack, thank you for hanging out with us, and don't be a stranger. Like I said, I will. You know how long I've waited, seems like, just to be able to say thank you, man, and thank you for continuing to give us the music, but thank you for giving us a lot of memories attached to that too. So I really appreciate it on behalf of not just myself, but the staff here at Nexxlegacy Radio.
And I thank you for having me. I like to say to all of my fans, I love y'all to death.
Love you too, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it. It is an icon right here. You're very, very welcome. Bobby Womack right here on Branded After Dark.